Hey, what's up, guys? So I'm finally getting back into editing the videos again. I had this one where I was trying to edit over on my laptop, and then like I couldn't move it to a flash drive, so I ended up buying like one of the little SD card readers so that I could just edit now on my laptop, which makes things a little bit easier. That way I can kind of do things while I'm not just at home. So I mean, it's not really a reason to procrastinate, but I'm a big procrastinator just in general. But I wanted to go ahead and start going back over these roles anyways, just because I do have that tournament coming up in a couple of weeks. Really, it's next week. But I just wanted to kind of start going back over, kind of what I'm doing in my roles, and then what I wanted more critique. I think my role more so than just go over what I'm doing, just so I can kind of make a mental note of like what I should be looking for. Like if I'm seeing stuff in the recordings that I didn't see when I was actually rolling, maybe I need to kind of open my mind up more to be looking for these opportunities. And also just like if I get stuck in certain situations, maybe like look for different opportunities where maybe I could have escaped or something like that. So yeah, so let's hop into it and let's check out the first roll. All right, so jumping into this first one, this is another white belt, and he's kind of close to my size. So kind of dap up and start rolling. My stand-up game is still just like atrocious. So it is something I need to work on. I'm planning on probably pulling guard. I have a couple different things I'm going to try on my feet, but if I can't get any of that, I'm probably just going to pull guard, to be honest, in this first tournament. My takedowns are terrible, which is, I already know that. So he tries to get a front headlock, and I try to get my arm behind his leg and then get my foot behind his leg so I can go ahead and try to get into this mount position. And then I went ahead and fast forwarded this part just because it does take me a minute to kind of get free of this front headlock once I kind of get into the mounted position. So I'm just kind of fighting his hands the whole time. And then I should go back to normal speed once I get back to mount. So there we go. So right here, I'm not doing this as much now. Again, this roll was a couple weeks ago. So what I was trying to do back then, and again, it's not really what I'm doing now. I don't know if that was I feel like it was more rushing it back then than what my approach is now. Which right now I'm trying to more so like lace up his legs and then try to move his arms forward. Where here I was trying to kind of just pressure my legs up his body so then I could get his arms up above his head that way, which didn't really work, and you kind of see that because he ends up using his frames on the inside of me to keep me postured up really high, so I couldn't close the distance. And then I even end up grabbing one of his arms. I don't know if I was planning on going for an armbar or what my plan was here, but I mean right here I only have one hand on the ground, and it's the far one too. So he just gets an easy sweep here. So I end up still trying to get the arm bar, but I mean, there isn't anything there. So now I've just given up a good position. So I mean, that's something I definitely want to try to work on for the actual tournament, is just not giving up good positions for no real reason. So that is something I'm trying to keep in mind. So here, I hate that I need honestly a better camera angle. Maybe I should set it up more on this side, because I feel like half of the footage, like, you can't really even see what's going on. I tried to reach around to his lat. So right here I'm trying to push his arm across, and then I try to reach his lat, and I want to try to get to his back, but couldn't end up getting there. And then right here he puts my leg over his own shoulder, and so I could have got a triangle. So I'm going to slow this down real quick for us so we can take a look at really what happened here. So I put my foot to kind of switch my hips over a little bit, and then for some reason he reaches inside of my own leg. So right here I'm already in the triangle position basically, but what I should have done, I think, is right here I'm giving him a huge gap to pull this arm out. So I think what I should have done to actually secure up this triangle is, one, close this gap up. Not so much close the triangle, which is what I tried to do, but more so close the gap with my knee and put this foot on his hip possibly, so that he can pull this arm out, and then use my hands to keep his head positioned down and then work on finishing the triangle from there. But instead, because my leg flew across like that, I just instantly was like, oh my god, triangle. And see how low I locked this on my feet? There's so much gap here. Like, if I would have instead tried to push my knee into his side here and keep my foot really close to stop this arm, I think he probably couldn't have got out. But because this huge gap, he just easily gets to pull his arm back out. And I mean, there's no way I'm finishing the triangle right here, anyways. I was trying to create angle, and I think I was just trying to jump the gun a little bit too much for this triangle here. So that's something something I'm trying to be more mindful of for my triangles, is not trying to rush them, but more just make sure mechanically everything is right to actually lock up a strong triangle. So he was nice and wanted to come back over by the camera so we could see more, but again, we can't really see any of the hand fighting because we're kind of pointing the wrong way here. So I don't really remember what I was doing here. I end up giving up my guard a lot. As soon as people start pressuring, I just end up giving it up. I need to work on not doing that as well. More so maybe keeping my knees more relaxed when they push. I saw some videos on that and just trying to, I think maybe the next time I roll, I'm going to try to see how long I can keep someone in my guard. Just to see how well I could do it maybe in a tournament if I do decide to pull guard. At this time also, I didn't really have I don't know what I'm doing here, but I think maybe, I'm trying to maybe get my foot in between his legs to establish like a half guard, or maybe I'm trying, or no, I have my leg inside. I don't know what I'm, wait, hold on, let me rewind that one more time. Okay, so yeah, this is in the inside, so yeah, my half guard game is just terrible at this point. I didn't really have a strategy for once I got into half guard. I think I was trying to lock up a Kimura on the other side. Um, Now I kind of have a better idea of what I want to be doing in half guard, which is going to be more trying to get into like that dogfight position and either take the back or get a takedown from there. I go in again for another armbar here, but we're never going to get this armbar because my other leg's on the wrong side. Like, so I'm going for the armbar, but see, this leg's on the inside, so I don't really have a way to keep him off from just turning. So, there's no way to really get this armbar, so I'm just kind of wasting time here. And I'm trying to keep my knees in, and I try to get a spin. I try to spin back to the outside in a second, I believe. Oh yeah, he's kind of got me locked up. I have my feet locked around his arm, but I believe I try to spin back out, and then right here, look at that. So I didn't even notice this when it was happening, but when I was watching this earlier, I mean, right here, I got another easy catch position that I could be throwing my legs across here. His arm's still on the outside. I mean, this another easy triangle that I could be trying to hit, but instead I let it go. And we fight some more from this position. Just I'm trying to get my leg up high. Again, this roll was, I mean, months ago, so I don't really remember what I was thinking at the time. I keep saying months, weeks ago. So yeah, he kind of stacks me, and I think right here when he's stacking, I need to be kind of elevating my hips and walking my shoulders just to make sure that he can't stack me like that, especially when I'm going for triangles and stuff like that. But I get stacked a lot, and that's something I need to work on. I went for like a half. I mean it was a hip bump sweep, but it was not really with a lot of effort there. I think I was trying to go again for the Kimura here on the arm. Or maybe that's what I was going for, was the Kimura initially. I wasn't even really trying to get the hip bump. So I'm fighting for the Kimura here. I don't believe I ever really got it separated enough. And then once I get it separated, then I was going to try to switch my hips here and try to come out the other side and, finish the Kimura. But I just never really got anything going with that Kimura, and he ends up getting it free. And then I push his arm across again. I think I was, again, trying to look for... Yeah, so I get his arm across. Yeah, I'm going to try to get that lat grip again. But he places his hand across my head, so I can't really sit up. So then I get my leg up on his shoulder here. So now, because I've been working on my arm bars a lot. with this position that I had right here, especially with his arm already in the center of my body, what I think I should have done here is pushed and pulled with my knees, right, to turn my body, and then elevated my legs to try to flip him over. And I think I could have got an arm bar here, but I don't really remember what I was thinking. Maybe I was going for a sweep or something. I don't know what my plan was at the time. I was trying to control his posture, and he jumps around to north south. So I get back on my knees into turtle, which at the time of this, I didn't really have any good. I hadn't watched anything on how to defend turtle. Now I have the Gordon Ryan's defense on turtle, so I'd probably play this a little bit different. But he gets his leg close in, so I'm like, okay, perfect. Let me see if I can flip him over here. And so I kind of sweep him back over, and then the time runs out. So that was the first roll. It was pretty good. And then so now we're going against this guy. This guy's probably like 190 pounds, something like that. So he's a good bit heavier than me. And again, I hit him into that front headlock, and he gets a anaconda here, sweeps me over, and he couldn't get the finish. I get my hands on the inside, and we end up fighting out of it. He really wants it, but I end up breaking free. And then we're against the wall, so I kind of just want to move back towards the middle, just so we both kind of have room to move around a little bit here. So he's got these frames on the inside. I have a couple. My half guard game and my half guard passing is like not the best. My half guard game is better now, and my half guard passing is a little bit better now. But my half guard's still probably one of my weaker points. So I did get a body lock. So my body lock passing is one of my go-tos. It's still kind of one of my go-tos. I mean, if I can get chest to chest, obviously I can pass that way. But if I can't get chest to chest, I still like this body lock pass where I'm shelving this leg here. I'm against this, but I'm shelving this leg, and I'm just kind of trying to walk around the knee. So I get around the knee, and then I don't really remember how hard this was. Again, this was, a couple weeks ago. But I feel like watching this, like I shouldn't have been able to get rotated here. Like I should have been able to keep my legs square in, but because I'm turned like this, like I think let's get back. When let me see, when we get around here, like I think I should just drove this knee in and just got square with him. And then I don't think he would have been able to really do anything with this leg. And I mean, honestly, I think he probably would have had to release it, because that's got to be a ton of torque on the knee. So, but I kind of just like drive in and I don't know, just get in this weird position where he's still got my upper body, and then he ends up kind of getting me back into his guard now with like a high leg, and then I end up breaking free of it because again he wasn't able to really keep anything here. So when we're so he's going for like a triangle, but he's got his hand on the inside of his leg. I don't know. It's just he didn't really have he couldn't really get anything cinched up there either. So ends up holding his legs, and then I try to spin through, and then we're just gonna move because the people right there beside us, and he decides we're gonna start standing. So that's fine because my standing game is terrible. I almost stepped on them there, but I try to jump onto his back, but he's holding my leg, so I can't really get it, and then I end up falling over the front. And then I wanted to try to pull out this arm bar to see if I could maybe do like a belly down arm bar, but he was gripping his leg or his arms together, and I didn't really rotate my hips enough, so I don't really know what my plan was here as far as getting anything done. Now, I don't know what the game or what I really should have done here either. I see this front head, and I was going to try to get around for like a guillotine. Obviously, this wasn't really an option there, but I managed to get him back on his back. And then I'm trying to get my leg free because he's got me back in half. And he's got his elbows blocking me from kind of coming up here. So I lace my hand on the inside, and then he grabs my head, but then he kind of flattens out. He gets me. Oh, yeah, that was the. Oh, okay, I thought it was in. Okay, no, we're just gonna move over. Yeah, watching these back like weeks after, and you don't really remember what you were thinking at the time, makes it a little bit harder to tell like why I'm doing certain things. To be honest, like when I record these like the day after, and I know exactly what I was thinking in the situations, I feel like it's a little bit better. But he gets an easy sweep on me here. To not have this sweep happen, let me kind of see what went on here. So I'm trying to keep my head low. I'm trying to get my hands in the armpit, and I'm trying to stand up and then posture up. But he takes my arms across, which kind of off balance me, and then I'm just across his body. So yeah, he just gets to sweep there. I think maybe if I could have kept my arms in his armpit and then break the guard, that would have been the go-to. He tries to lace up my legs. I try to get my legs down flat and turn my hips sideways. Catch his heel with my heel. There it is. Pull it through, and we're back into a half. If I can get my body off the ground. I mean, obviously right now we're chest to chest, which now I do have a couple things that I'm trying when I get chest to chest, getting back into like a butterfly half, and then using that to elevate to actually get out is kind of what I'm doing now. But at this time, I didn't really have a game plan. Again, like I said, my half guard, I didn't really have any attacks or anything from there. So I'm just trying to like lock down his leg here, and just again, it was a couple weeks ago, so I don't really remember and I can't see what my hands are doing really either. So again, I wish I either had like someone that could kind of walk around, or I wish I had maybe a couple cameras so I could get different angles. But do some more hand fighting here. And I'm locking up. I mean, I have double unders, so I mean, and then he gets the under back. So wait, did I have double unders? Yeah, I had double unders. I mean, there's a lot of things that I could have done with the double unders, but I mean, I didn't know what to do with them at that time. So it is what it is. But he ends up pushing for an underhook himself, and then he tries to walk that hand up. I'm just kind of stepping on his leg, trying to stop him from being able to advance. Again, my half guard, I didn't know anything. I mean, like, there was some stuff, like, I could go into deep half and do, like, electric chairs and stuff like that. But, I mean, once I was flattened out, I had no idea what to do. So I was just trying to retain my guard, put him back into full guard. Managed to get back there. And then I have both of his hands, but his elbows are still on the outside of my body, so I can't really do too much with it. But I decided I'm going to start working a rubber guard game. So I get the meat hook, and then he immediately starts trying to shelf this leg, or stuff the leg. I should have, right here, let's get back. I should have, once I got this, so I get the leg up high, and I get the meat hook. I think right here, see how low my leg is? I think I needed to be almost like double bagging. So like this leg should have been up super high. So let's see it again. So I'm on my side. I throw this leg up, get the meat hook, and then I put my knee down. And that easily lets him keep pressure it against the floor and then push it underneath. If I would have put it up over his waist there, it would have been a lot harder for him to stop me from once I had this meat hook and then work my rubber guard game. So that's another thing that I've been trying to think about when I'm playing rubber guard, is just where my leg that's not over his head is, like trying to keep that either tight to his chest or up around his back. But decent little rolls. Again, there's a lot of stuff that I was doing wrong. A lot of stuff at that time I didn't really know what to do in that situation. Again, I mean, I'm still a white belt, so I mean, obviously I don't know what to do in every situation for sure. So this tournament's going to be pretty interesting to see how that goes, but I'm excited about it, and we'll get another roll video out hopefully tomorrow. All right, have a good one. Thanks for watching.